Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Max Moving Training Podcast. And today we have the luxury of going out to Tampa Bay, Florida to meet with Philip Diamond, who's crushing it. His company is all about moving and storage. Phil's been an amazing friend of mine since I moved to the Florida area. Giving me a lot of golden nuggets, being very supportive, more than another owner slash friend can ask for. And, I just needed to bring this guy on the show because basically he's just been dropping gems after gems. And, we got to share this. We got to share the love. So, Phil, you want to tell them about yourself?
Well, my name's Phil Diamond. Me and my wife own All About Moving here in Largo, Florida. Me and my wife pretty much oversee the day to day. My wife does a lot in this business, to be honest with you. Um, we operate here locally. Um, we generally stay within the state for moving. On an average, we're doing roughly about 100, 120 moves a month here locally. Um, and I've done that by keeping my marketing within the community. Um, I hear a lot of people and talking about SEO and a lot of other things that's worked, but my success has been direct marketing back to the community where we live at. Uh, Tampa's a hot spot, a lot of retirees, um, a lot of major players here, and I've tried to set aside and give a different approach on the industry that I've got into. Uh, I've owned this business now for, we've been legally in business for 6 years. So we're coming into our 6 year. We're going into a new facility here next month, a little bit different portion of the business, and a little excited, a little nervous. Got a lot of good support from other local movers as well, and just trying to make do what we can.
Okay. So we're not just gonna act like you ain't just say 100 to 120 moves a month. What's been, I guess, I know you mentioned that giving back to the market, staying in your local market, but what has been that success? Like, I know a lot of people have that question.
Well, a lot of our referral base comes from realtors. Realtors is a major part in this industry. And how do we give back to realtors, especially when we come into a home, a customer has already somewhat established a realtor. So how do we give back to that realtor? You may ask yourself that question. Now, certain states, certain laws, realtors can't really accept cash, for that referral. So you have to kind of think a little bit more outside of the box, a little bit more genuine what you're doing, um, especially being local. Here in Largo, you can reach out to 20 or 30 realtors within a 15-mile radius. And, my approach on it is, lunch, you know, minimally 2 or 3 realtors a month. I'm sitting down having breakfast with or lunch. Actually, today I have a realtor and his wife coming out, and I'm teaching them how to play pickleball. Now, I'm
Mm,
being a little bit more personable with my time. Now, I love playing pickleball. I love to eat. You know what? Why not invite that realtor that has been so kindly to give her referral over? Because we play a vital part in that moving process, just like the realtor. Now, our part sometimes is only a day or two, just depending on the move size. That realtor has spent, who knows, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So when she passes that or he passes that referral over, how important is it for us to make sure that we're following through with her process, because her referral line is laying on that as well, as far as she referred your company over. Um, and another big thing with that is, with our older community, what I've noticed is they're more eager to refer you. Now, when you're dealing with, cold call customers, they're calling around, they're getting a lot of mixed emotions, especially here in Florida. There's no regulation. So they're getting, $80 an hour to, $200 an hour for two guys in a truck. And it's confusing to the consumer. And I would
Okay.
be confused. It would confuse me, but you have to set yourself aside and just stay firm, because a lot of guys, I noticed they lower their price during, they call the non-peak of the season. Well, we're in Florida. Other areas I don't really know, but Florida should stay pretty consistent. Now, and I get it
Definitely.
up north. I get it up north, it's snowing. People aren't trying to do all that mess. But here, you should stay firm and stay across the board with what you're doing. Now, I have a background in sales. I was in the car business for 15 years. So, and still to this day, and I haven't been in the car business in about 12 years. Do you know that I still get text messages from customers from North Carolina asking me if I still sell cars?
It must mean you left an impact.
Exactly. Building a relationship, and that's what it's about. Right now, we have 38 realtors that constantly refer us. Um,
Nice.
I pulled a report, had Melissa to pull a report last night. 33 customers last month came from realtors,
Mm,
from those
that's
realtors.
powerful.
Now, could you imagine doing that when homes were selling like hotcakes?
Mm, definitely. No, definitely.
For the
So,
amount of moves that we're conducting, my marketing cost is very, very low, under 5 grand.
mm, no, that's
Now,
awesome. So
you
are
know,
you building, are you like, because I know you can't, I guess, have lunch and pickleball with all 38, realtors. So how's that relationship forming with the other few?
so we generally put together what we call love packages, and this is sent out about every 2 months or every 3 months. My wife sends out, gift cards. My wife does that bling jewelry. She sends that out. Golf balls. I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with. You're on social media with a lot of these guys, so you know what their likes are. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's a realtor over in Tampa. He's big on grills. This Christmas, I mean, that guy sent us. I'm not even going to say how much business. I bought him an egg for Christmas, a green egg,
Mm,
and sent it to his house. Um, you know, it's all about giving back, because no one wants to feel like they're referring you and they're not even getting a thank you. You know, and I'm going to give you an instance yesterday. It's a gentleman in a different industry, an automotive industry, that I've been referring my employees over to. I've been referring my family over to. And, and for the last 5 years, that gentleman has never told me thank you, ever,
wow.
ever. And, you know, not even, far as on a standpoint of wanting, accepting something or expecting a discount, um, but just a thank you. And I seen him yesterday, and I'm like, hey, my father-in-law, is going to need an engine in his truck, and okay, just told him to send it over, and just walked away. No thank you, no nothing. I'm like, man,
Wow. How do you even respond like that? Usually people say thank you, something.
yeah, man. But speaking with my father-in-law, speaking with him about this yesterday, he's a business owner as well. And he said, Philip, you can't expect everyone to have the same values as you have.
Mhm.
You're a little old school, you're country boy, um, and your values are a lot different than others. um, I care more about a smile on a customer's face than money, to be honest with you.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Nothing else burns me up when I know that we have a customer out there that's upset about something, whether it's, something got scratched or damaged, or feeling like they were overcharged or something like that, I can't sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts my feelings. And I feel defeated, even from one customer out of all of those customers a month. We I try to put a different approach on this industry. I originally got in this industry. I had no moving background. When I started this business, I didn't even have a car.
Gotcha.
And
That's started from the bottom. Now you're here.
yes, sir. And it's still work in progress with this business. My ultimate goal is kind of all over the place with this particular business. I have my kids coming involved. My oldest son is actually joining us once we move into our new facility. And I always wanted to leave a legacy behind of something that didn't exist until, my thought was put into place. Because I look back sometimes and I'm driving around town, and I see one of our trucks and I'm like, man, who would ever thought that?
Yeah, that's an amazing feeling.
I mean, and I
And
was
people, it's just one of those things you just don't want to take for granted. I've seen it myself driving down the highway. You see a truck passing you or going somewhere, and you're just like, wow, like I did this.
yeah, man. And it's an up and down battle with this business. The continuous marketing has to continuously happen.
Mm-hmm.
I call it planting the seed. Um, so, of course, even here in Florida, you start running into January, February. Yes, it does tone down a little bit. Uh, you as an owner and or your marketing team or whoever you have out, they start needing to start to plant the seed before that happens. It's a little too late when you're trying to do it in January.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, Usually around July, August, we start doing what we call refreshers, refreshing back to storage facilities, giving out cards. Of course, trying to gain more realtors, far as going in to their meetings and providing breakfast, and or being supportive of what they have going on. You know, we have I have one young lady that's on my Facebook, and she's the owner of it's called Paul's Rescue Foundation for pups, and I donate to her rescue monthly. I got it set up on auto pay. Why is that? Because that's important to her. She's been referring us to business for 5 years, and to go back a little bit on why the importance of that realtor. For one, you're getting a good quality customer. Uh, Now, I can't say that 100% of the time, but 9 times out of 10, you're getting a 100% quality customer that, you know, they know that you have to do a good job in order to maintain that good relationship with that realtor.
Gotcha.
So, that whole let me get 3 estimates and I'll call you back and let me go through and see which one's the cheapest route is kind of out of the window. you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm more of a meet and greet kind of guy. Like I say, I'm old school. I'm old school business. And what I mean by old school business is uh, I like to meet my customers. Now, I can't get out and meet all 120 customers. There was not last month, but last year, we topped into 170 on moves. Now, these are not just full service. These are some labor jobs here or there. Um, but a mass majority of them are, um, full service moves. Um, so
Now,
we lack
uh,
in certain areas as well within the industry that I was that I'm trying to improve on.
Gotcha.
So
Now, I was going to say, now I know that there are some people that might say, well, hey, if you're able to do maybe 170 moves or even 200 moves, like if you peak out at that amount per month, have you not maybe considered raising the rates to get that down to 100? Or is quantity kind of important for you?
well, to be honest with you, we keep up with all of our, competitor rates, even, large corporations. I am $5 more expensive
Oh,
than
nice. Okay.
some of your larger. Now, I'm a firm believer in this. I came into business. It was me and a gentleman named Eddie. And once I gained my fourth employee, I immediately went and got work comp. I have some of my original employees still. They come hang out. I've never really put myself on this pedestal where I don't want my guys to think they can't come talk to me or I'm outgrowing them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've tried to, I put my guys in certain areas to where they can improve their credit. Just pointing in the right direction. This is just being a good person. You know, it has nothing really. I mean, I think a lot of people sometimes focus too much on business. It's business, it's business, it's business. It's all about being a good person as well. And
Gotcha.
wanting to see your guys succeed and purchase homes and buy new cars and things of that nature. And if you pay them well, and that all I run into this often. I'm one of the highest paid companies in the moving industry as well. Not not just the most expensive, but also the most highest paid as well.
Let me let me
Now,
let me pause you right there. Did you listen to my previous episode that I just released? Because if not, then again, this is another person talking about value and giving back to their employees, and that's just everything. So whether he listened to the episode or he did, and the episode just literally just released, it's a matter of how you embed that culture, how you choose to take care of your employees. And, again, speaking with Phil from, over a year now, I have, without a shadow of a doubt, know that this is what he's doing for his guys, taking care of them every single day.
yeah, yeah. My love for people, man, it lies a lot deeper than anything. I've always been more of a giver than a taker. Um, I wanted, when I started out on this journey, man, I wanted to build a good business, not a dead end business. I like that I can provide even dental insurance for my
Wow.
guys. We're looking into getting, some health care for the guys, because they're the face of our company. We're not out, moving furniture no more as much. I still get out every. I honestly like to get out on a job at least once a month. To be honest with you, it keeps me in shape. I'm in my 40s. And I like to kind of see what my guys are doing.
What those
During
guys be telling you, Phil?
yeah, man, like during the rain season, man. We working around rain, man. I'll go out there and work with my guys in the rain, man. It is what it is, man. If it's light rain, show these guys, hey, Phil will don't get it wrong now. Phil will get out here working the rain now. I mean, I've had my guys to call me, hey, Phil, man, we got this, this job is, dragging out, man. Got a couple of guys getting tired, man. We're gonna need somebody over here, man. I'll get out of my bed, man, quick and go.
Mm-hmm.
If it's within reach, or call the customer like, hey, we have to re-come back or something like that. That approach sometimes doesn't go really well with the customer because, of course, once again, they have a life, they have to work tomorrow, they have things lined up. So,
And plus,
but
you got 150 moves to complete. You ain't got time to be going back.
no, man, this January, I was very surprised because looking back, and this is thanks to you, Dwight. When I first spoke with you, I knew nothing about my business. Really? I mean, you remember that conversation you
Yeah.
had with me? You said, "Do you not know your numbers?" I was like, "No, man." He's like, "Well, how do you know you're making money?" I just know I'm making money. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
paid. everything's paid for. Um, one thing that I did not jump myself into when I got into this business, and still to this day, is another old school value of not building debt.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that has been a good success for us, for our business. You know, and that just comes from my background of my father-in-law owned a business, and my grandfather owned a small business as well. And hey, just don't jump into debt immediately. Of course, but those old school values sometimes is not necessarily true, because you'll need some help, you know at some point, you know
Definitely.
you know but I get excited about this business, man. I tell you, man, day to day, man, I get excited, uh, because we play a vital part of a customer's life. Furniture can be replaced, things can be replaced. Uh, Great customer service, understanding that that customer stress. Me and my wife have moved twice in the last year, and we moved from a large home to a small condo, from a small condo to a large home. And I tell you, man, this was last Friday, and me and my wife have been married we're coming into 11 years. When I tell you, we don't really have words much at all. It's very, you know, I learned how to say yes, honey. That's some good advice as well. But Friday, man, we caught ourselves nitpicking at each other, man, and we're using our own company to move. Furniture's not fitting properly. I'm telling my guys to put stuff down here. Next thing I know, they're bringing it up on the third floor. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Oh, well, Melissa said bring it up here. And I'm like, no, I told you to put it. The next thing you know, we're at each other.
Yeah. And that's
And
what the
then,
movers are going through every single day.
oh, yeah, next thing you know, I done fired a guy. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? But he's back. He's back working. Me and this guy's known each other for a long time, man. And, you know, he's a
You
great
can't be out
guy.
here firing your own workers for moving you now.
Well,
I mean,
he got man. Oh man, you guys need to get it together. You guys acting like them customers. I know you did. He told me, I know y'all ain't gonna tip anyway. He was joking around, and I'm already on edge. But could you imagine now just imagine this, having complete strangers in your home, right?
mm-hmm.
And this occurring. Yeah, I'm sure you've been out in the field and have felt that vibe from customers where they're agitated. Any little thing is going to piss them off. Now, most people are going to take their frustration out on someone they don't know,
Definitely.
and that way, that you got to teach your guys how to remove themselves from that situation.
Definitely.
Uh, you know, I
So,
love this.
so I was gonna say, so I know that we're running kind of short on time, but I want to make sure that the guests, they get the information. So what's some stuff that you put into your realtor's gift package?
So jewelry, not like expensive jewelry, gift cards. A lot of the realtors that I network with are on my Facebook, so I see everything that they're doing, just like they see everything I'm doing. So they have kids or whatever, and I see their kid playing baseball. I'll send a package with some baseballs in it. You got to think outside of the box, and build that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, with that realtor, not just a business relationship, a friendship. I had 5 of my friends now are realtors that became friends of mine through networking like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it continues to grow. You know, I would suggest to anyone that's looking to try to market back to the community, um, finding yourself some hobbies, outdoor hobbies,
Gotcha.
uh, that's going to require you to be out. instead of being behind a computer all the time, stressed out. We have to release, they call the beast,
Mm-hmm.
and something that it's going to set yourself aside a little different, you know.
Definitely, definitely. It makes sense. So what is, I guess we'll end it here, but what is being a hometown dominator mean to you?
Well, I never want to consider it domination. Um, I like to see other businesses do well. I network with three other movers here in Largo. After we're completely booked, those calls start going over to them, um, and vice versa. We get a lot of jobs from other movers during the month, but that continuous growth within several other different businesses. One of the other moving company owners is one of my best friends. I mean, we hang out together. He's came to my house several times, came to my, lunches, birthday parties. He's even came and played pickleball with me. Um, and we're just trying to build a different uh, um, approach for the industry.
Okay.
Because the industry has a bad approach. It's kind of, a customer told me one time, and I laughed because I never told her I was a car salesman. She was like, "Yeah, a car salesman before." She said, "Yeah, knowing a good moving company, a mover, is like knowing a good car salesman." You
Yeah.
know, and once you get a good car salesman or a good mover, you hang on to them. You know,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
so and I look at that as a day to day as well, as far as how I, as a consumer as well, to certain areas, look at when I'm getting ready to do business with someone. Um, my home, we purchased a home, getting ready to get painted, and I got three estimates, and two of them I kicked because they were the cheapest. I don't want cheap, you know. And I look at that as far as in the moving industry as well. Even though we think we're being the cheapest, um, it necessarily doesn't make it okay, because then what are we doing this for, right?
Right.
Are we doing this for free? Because when we know that we have a really good customer, just say we have a 10, 15,000 square foot home, we're moving, packing, unpacking, you know, your eagerness to make sure that that customer is top notch is more. Now, if you undercut the job, you may not really care. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, and I mean that's just human nature, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. When you think, but go back to the direct marketing with realtors, and of course your community. There's never really a time or a place where you can say, okay, uh, I've got Google AdWords, and they're charging you $27 a click. And then you get a call, two, three calls, and people are, oh, well, I'm looking for to get a shed moved, you know, or I'm looking to move my whole mobile home. You just lost, $50 right there. My approach on that is, why not just give it back to the community that's been so generous to you,
Definitely. No, definitely makes sense.
you
Okay,
know.
okay. So everybody, this was Phil Diamond from All About Moving and Storage out of Tampa/Largo. Um, so Phil, did you have any last words before we take off?
Now, Dwight, I just wanted to thank you, brother, for being a good friend, a good mentor as well. You definitely inspired me to want to continue to know my business, because until I started talking to you, brother, no one had never really asked me any questions that you asked me, and then I felt ashamed at first.
It's hard at
But
first, but then it feels better once you actually know the information.
yeah, and I look forward to joining your training. You got a bright future ahead of yourself, brother. You have a passion for this industry. It gives me goosebumps, man, because I talk to you daily. You know, I call you in the morning, some mornings, man, just to show you my muscle, and then hang up the phone. You're like, what the world? You know, because life is more about laughter and love.
Definitely.
You know, and I want to see you grow. And I always tell you, you got this, man. You got this. You have what it takes, you know. And me and my wife and my family really appreciate your just you in general, man.
All right. Before I get all emotional and everything, we're going to call it here. But all right, everybody. So again, this is Dwayne with Max Movement Training. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for future episodes. Phil Diamond, all about moving and storage. All right, everybody.
Bye, guys.